You will not believe how strange this colorful amphibian's life cycle is. The Appalachian Mountains are not nearly as tall as more famous mountain ranges like the Rocky Mountains, but that's because they are over 400 million years old. A long time ago, they were an impressive mountain range, but over millions of years, they have been eroding away. On a sunflower is an insect, a native species of bee. I couldn't tell you what bee species it is because there are so many of them. In fact, there are over 3,000 species of bees in the United States and Canada alone. On a goldenrod is a species of bumblebee. This caterpillar is a saddled prominent. It may look beautiful now, but in the future it will turn into a plain-looking moth. In the shallow water are tadpoles, likely there to avoid larger aquatic predators. Near the creek are wildflowers like cardinal flowers and blue vervain. In a clearing are two immature white-tailed deer. Their species has a huge range from southern Canada all the way down to northern South America. A wild turkey flies and a group of ruffed grouse walk across the dirt road. They are one of about 12 species of grouse in North America. On the bank grows mint. As we move around the mountain, less and less plants can be seen growing. That's because we're moving towards the dark side of the mountain. On a rock slithers a native species of slug, which are luckily still common up here. This part of the forest may not have many plants, but it does have many mushrooms. This mushroom is likely a death cap. It is said to taste like honey, but one bite will kill you. How do they know it tastes like honey? I have no idea. This is not a leopard frog, but a pickerel frog. Pickerel frogs do not have round spots like leopard frogs. Instead, they have more square-like spots. I decided to show you this forest under ultraviolet light again because the last time I did that, it was definitely not my most unpopular video. Club mosses aren't that tall now, but the extinct scale tree could grow to be over 100 feet tall. An unusual looking moss can be found growing in moist areas. It is called frog skin moss. On a rotten log grow hemlock varnish shelves. They grow on dead conifers like hemlock and spruce. This is a species of wasp, and that curly-Q thing isn't some scary stinger. Instead, it's used to lay eggs. But that doesn't mean this species is nice. They use that to lay eggs and grubs. Larvae hatch out of those eggs and feed on the grubs insides. They are parasites. Next to Slate Run is a meadow of Joe Pye weeds. A bumblebee is on a flowering raspberry flower. Right now, the plant is beginning to get some raspberries. They are not the only berries here. There are also some doll's eye berries. Along the Pine Creek is a fossil impression. The rock is full of ancient impressions from marine creatures like brachiopods. This wild grapevine has some grapes. A species of goldenrod is getting pollinated by a native species of bee. To the left is another kind of insect. This is Rattlesnake Rock. When it was first discovered, there were many rattlesnakes resting on it, but clearly not anymore. People love killing venomous snakes all the way to this day, and the stupid thing about the person who killed this snake is it isn't even venomous, it's a harmless northern water snake. A gray squirrel runs across the trees. A species of wren lands on a twig. These butterflies are all a species of fritillary called Aphrodite. They were named after the Greek goddess of love and beauty. The life cycle of an Aphrodite starts when they hatch out of the egg as a caterpillar. They do not eat and then overwinter. In the spring, they eat the leaves of violets. When they grow up, they do not eat violet leaves anymore. Instead, they drink nectar from flowers like this jopai weed. The butterflies are using their proboscis to suck out nectar from the flowers. Aphrodites are not the only species of butterfly here. There is also one spicebush swallowtail, and their caterpillars feed off of spicebush and sassafras leaves. These swallowtails have long proboscises, which allow them to suck out nectar from long flowers. A giant army of slaver ants terrorizes these lands, and yes, these ants own slaves. Ants of different species from different ant colonies are often captured and turned into slaves, like this one. The slaves act as though they are part of the colony because they are brainwashed with pheromones to do whatever the slave masters want them to do. This ant is hiding. She doesn't want to be a slave like her sisters. Unfortunately, that ant may not be free for much longer. A rainstorm has made the forest nice and wet, which causes an elusive creature to emerge. This colorful amphibian is a red-spotted newt. They have a very strange and unusual life cycle, which starts out with eggs laid in a small body of water. When they hatch, they have gills and no legs, but they eventually grow legs and then leave the water. Their second stage has begun, the red eft. Right now we're looking at one. In this stage, they live on land and walk long distances. They are usually in the stage for around 3 years from what we know, but sometimes they can even be in this stage for 7 years. What is even crazier is their life cycle isn't even over yet. They're just doing this to look for a new body of water. There, they'll become aquatic again in their adult stage. In the water, they'll mate and start the life cycle all over again, but this isn't always the case. Sometimes red efts are sexually mature, and along the coast, the red eft stage is often skipped completely. The reason why these newts are so brightly colored is because they're poisonous and will release a toxic secretion if threatened. If you don't know this already, animals are often brightly colored to warn predators that they are toxic. Night has come, and this is a different species of millipede than what we saw last night, but just like the one we saw last night, it glows underneath ultraviolet light. This camel cricket sort of glows, but not nearly as much as the millipede. Not only does it glow, but it also fluoresces. Let's see that again. This is the same species of millipede from last night. Thank you for watching the video, and now we are finally at 20 subscribers. Have a great day.